why we are feeling overwhelmed, and how we can regain choice. Okay, I've been seeing a theme, not only within myself, but with a lot of women that I talk with on a daily basis. We're overwhelmed. People are overwhelmed right now. And we're not doing anything wrong. It's just that we are wired. And I'll get into that in a minute. But this constant responsibility, obligation, some of it's just perceived, right? We'll get into that too in a second. And why this matters, we don't have our pause, we don't have our moment even for completion from the first thing until we move on to the second thing. Some of it's not that important, but some of it really is. Like if you have an emotional conversation with somebody, or you go through something that's a little traumatic. I hesitate to use that word, but you know, like you could be scared, right? I mean, you get scared all the time. You can have a scared moment, but do we complete that? Do we process that? So this matters because we are not finishing things, and our nervous systems are telling us this. And that leads into a whole sort of problem. A dysregulated nervous system, we're going to have a hard time losing weight. If you're trying to lose weight, we are going to increase our inflammation, which is going to increase our physical discomfort. It all just piles on top of each other. And if this is something holistic that we can do for ourselves, everything that I recommend here are things that are 100% available to you at any given moment through awareness. Awareness first, change second, okay? So here's what we're going to go through. We're going to talk about practicing the pause and why that's important. We're going to talk about why humans should not be on demand. And we're going to talk about our habitual responses. Okay? All right. Well, thanks for joining me. And I look forward to talking about all this with you. And I hope that in some way it helps you to have more ease and more love and more grace in your life. Okay, so let's talk about the pause. We don't always have time to stop, but we can pause. So just break that pattern. Break the pattern. Go to your breath, especially if you feel ignited, if you start to feel that nervous system kicking up, right, and activating. Take a breath. Take a beat. It helps you calm down. It's super funny, you know that saying, just calm down. And a lot of times men will say that to women, oh, just calm down. And I've discovered that it's both wise words and triggering, which is kind of funny, right? So the nervous system, yeah, it is important that we calm down and that we complete responses, okay? So practice that pause. Before you shift gears, going from one thing to the next, pause briefly. Make sure you have a completion there. Otherwise, here again, it just layers. We're layering and layering and layering. And sometimes we can't, right? Sometimes we have to go. But we can't sustain that. So make sure that you are at times, when you do have a moment, take a breath. Just come into yourself, breathe. Just let it, feel it in your body. That's really all it takes. So, you know, sometimes you'll be really worked up and it takes more than that, and that's okay. But we're talking about adding this into your routine and making it a go-to, okay? All right. And so human beings are not built to be on demand. Everything else out there is. And we have somehow decided that we're supposed to be too, right? Especially ladies. We are out there doing it all. And we think there's something wrong with us if we can't. Well, it's okay in bursts, right? I mean, I'm amazed some days how much I can get done. I'm amazed some days at how much I can't get done because I'm stuck in my loop, right? But I have tools and I go to them. Sometimes it's my breath, sometimes it's other things. But just stepping back and realizing, you know, it doesn't matter, ding, 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 the phone. I don't have to look at it. I will look at it when I'm finished, or when I have time, or when it's scheduled, or whatnot. Or if I want to. If I want to, then I do it. But when I start to get anxiety, that's when I say, okay, it's time to just take a moment here. It's that way with everything. I mean, yes, at work, we have responsibilities, and sometimes we can't pause. We can't, we are on demand to a certain degree. And I'm talking about when everything is happening everywhere all at once, okay? Because if we feel like that's how we're supposed to function nonstop, we're creating problems for ourselves, okay? That's a misconception. Yes, everything else can go on super fast, super fast. You're a human being. You're not designed that way, okay? So stop thinking that you have to respond. Anytime somebody says something, even with my children, I have to set boundaries. And boy, that does not make me feel very comfortable. It's working out. But at first I was like, oh, I'm a horrible mother, make these kids wait for something? What am I teaching them, right? And I'm frazzled. So have some healthy boundaries. Dinner's at 6, what have you. Have boundaries. Then you have stability. It actually creates stability to know that you can count on yourself. And it creates self-trust. Because if we're living externally and we're expecting everybody outside of us to meet our needs, do I need to say it? We're going to be waiting a very long time. Probably. Okay. So we put our life mask on first, or oxygen mask, life vest. You know what I mean. We have to start taking care of ourselves. And we are not made to be on demand. So just remember that. The next time you're go, 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 and you're overwhelmed and everything's happening all at once, pause, remind yourself you're not on demand, and proceed when you're ready, okay? And if you need to tell people you're overwhelmed or that you need a minute, go to the bathroom. Whatever you need to do, just take that break. Come back fresh, okay? Our responses are habitual. This doesn't mean it's wrong, okay? It just means, again, we're wired. What do I mean by this? It's like that knee-jerk response. We're reactive because somebody cut you off. What do you say? It's like, your kid demands something and you can't do it and you bark. I don't want to be a dog. I don't want to bark all the time. It doesn't feel good. I always regret it. Well, every once in a while I don't. Kidding. No, but seriously, think about this. Our responses, because we don't take the time, that little pause, to take a moment, we react. If we pause, recalibrate, breathe, then we can respond, conscious response, rather than emotional reaction. Wow. If we all did that, but I can't control what somebody else does. I can only control me and how I respond. And hopefully I can teach people. Hopefully I teach my children. That's a good life right there. If we all just pause, realize we're not on demand, and that our responses are habitual, they're wired, and it's okay. Awareness first, change second. You're not broken, okay? You're not broken. You just need to slow down and become aware of what you're doing. Then what happens over time is you start to see patterns, and you start to get to know yourself. And then you see some boundaries that you have, or some markers or triggers, whatever you want to call them. There's nothing wrong with those. It's just wired into us. And the beautiful thing about our wiring is we can go in there and we can change it at any time that we want. We just have to slow down, and we have to look at it. We have to look at it inside of us, inside of ourselves. And what is it telling you? And when you get the answer, whatever the first answer is, okay? Is that true? Ask yourself, is this true for me? Maybe it was true a long time ago. Maybe it's not true now. What is true now? So then you replace that old thought pattern with this new one that serves you, that works for you, that fits, that is true for you now. That's your new go-to. That's what you start saying. Even if you say the old one 15 times, 16th time it might stick, okay? You just have to keep telling yourself. Some of them are bigger and harder and more stuck. You just need more repetition of the new way, and then it softens. And don't forget to give yourself grace anytime we're learning something new, especially when it comes to our internal dialogue, right? It's like we're learning a new language, and it can take some time, but you can get there. You absolutely can get there. I am very hard-headed. I will admit it. It took me a long time. Some of these things, definitely, some are easy. Some, whew, I'm going down kicking and screaming. There's a funny meme out there someplace. It's like, how do you prefer to learn? And I'm like, and it's like, the hard way. It's like, hello. But I'm getting better. And that's all we can do, right? That's all we can do is continue to try to get better. All right. I hope that this resonated with you. And if there's anything that I can ever do for you, please just reach out. Thanks for sticking with me. And I will see you again next time.